Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. I got another scenario that caught my eye, one that I think is relevant considering what just released, i.e. Subnautica. Hey, look, a peeper. The Kharaa Bacterium. Now, if you don't know, right, in Subnautica, it's not just a simple, like, sea base building survival game and then just kind of happy-go-lucky and have fun in the sandbox. There's an ongoing story in Subnautica, and a big part of that, spoiler alert, is the entire planet, or at least the area that you are in, the crater, has a bacterial infection that an alien race was trying to contain. Presumably, that's the name of it, Kharaa. I don't know for sure. But that's what apparently the scenario is going to be about, and considering Subnautica just had its full release, I figure this seems like a sensible scenario to give a shot. So, here we go. Take control of the Kharaa Bacterium, a deadly pathogen that originated on planet 4546b, and kill off the entire hyper-advanced precursor race as they arrive to colonize the planet. This scenario is meant to be relatively difficult, not for rookies. I recommend playing on normal to start. Give any feedback or suggestions you can. This isn't completely finished and there are bound to be errors, but it's already 5 stars, so that's pretty darn good. Alright, let's see what happens with it. You said normal difficulty, so we'll try that out. Although I'm hoping it is a little bit challenging, otherwise I'm going to wish I had done Mega Brutal just to prove you wrong. The precursors arrive on Earth, apparently. An alien bacterium. Unfortunately for the precursor race just arriving on the planet, the next big outbreak is about to be ready to be unleashed. Can you drive the powerful and hyper-advanced precursor race to extinction? Choose a biome to start in. Choose one of Subnautica's many unique biomes to start your infection in. Each one has different types of fauna, which, if the proper transmissions are evolved, can give your bacterium a boost. Be careful in choosing your starting biome and which transmissions and abilities you want to evolve. Well, I don't know what kind of transmissions you put into the game, so I'm going to start with Saudi Arabia and let's see if it actually works. Although, I guess a better option might have been India. That's a pretty safe choice. Alright, transmission, what do we got? I just realized we didn't get to pick any of our genes. Okay, we have water. Alright. Allowing indefinite survival in warm, low-concentrated water. Yep, India would have been better. Okay. Water 2, chemically treated water. Interbiome transmission. Makes sense. Fauna 1, bacterium is able to infect small herbivorous fauna. Opens up new transmissions. Seems perfect. Wow, we're lethal to start. That's kind of fun. A Garyfish. Bacterium able to infect the Garyfish. Increases infectivity, especially in the safe shallows and underwater islands. Boomerangs. Infectivity in many biomes. Bladderfish. Bacterium able to infect the bladderfish increases infectivity, especially in the safe shallows and the Grand Reef. These are all the different names of different biomes in Subnautica, I think. Not sure how exactly that works on an Earth map in Plague Inc., but there's only so much you can do. Fauna 2. Bacterium is able to fight stronger immune systems, allowing for infection of larger fauna or fauna on high trophic levels. Opens up even more transmissions. Okay. For symptoms, we start off with genetic alteration. Mutates the host DNA, causing alterations to the body structure. Becomes fatal due to the organism's eventual inability to function properly. Makes sense. Immune suppression. Shuts down the immune system, making it more susceptible to disease. Can be lethal. Yuck. Cysts. Green cysts form networks around infection sites on host body. Irritation visibly becomes more severe the closer the organism is to death. And yes, that does happen in Subnautica. As you play the game, your skin gradually gets worse and worse until you find a way to get a cure and then get off the godforsaken planet. Alright. Cold resistance, heat resistance, pressure resistance? Increases effectiveness in deeper biomes. I'm guessing that's supposed to be like drug resistance, so okay. The greater the depth, the harder it is to survive. That's an interesting way to play the game. Neural breach. Able to access precursor neural pathways, opens up more symptoms. Extensive incubation. The bacterium increases standard incubation time within the hosts. Lower severity and lethal potential, which will take time to regenerate. Oh wow, it's almost as if it's playing like it's a bioweapon instead of a bacteria. That's interesting. Genetic reshuffle and anatomical. Words. Hijack. Increased control over precursor bodies, opens up more symptoms. Okay, here we go. Strategy is key. What the precursors may not have in number, they have in brain power. Rest assured, if your disease is spotted, it will be cured. In this scenario, cure speed is deathly fast, so you'll have to decide on what the best strategy is and plan ahead. Best strategy might be to try and reduce lethality and severity eventually. We'll see. Because you're playing on a difficulty lower than brutal, you will receive a free 40 DNA to help boost your game. You're welcome. Oh! Okay. Sure. Thank you. Okay, we're probably going to go for the boomerangs to start. That opens up the hoverfish, whole fish, and hoop fish. Okay, this all sounds really good, but what counts as the different kind of biomes? Like, what's the kelp forest? Is that urban? I guess it would make a little sense. Spadefish. Able to infect the spadefish, increases infectivity in the grassy plateaus in the mushroom forest. Yeah, that's the thing, is like I kind of need a lexicon that tells me what the different biomes are that correspond to these names. Peeper! We'll go ahead and pick you up too. You're relatively affordable, and it's a pretty reasonable amount of infectivity considering. Now, I could go for the reduction immediately in the lethality and severity, but I may want to wait until I've gotten a little bit further, because even if I have a bit of severity and lethality, if I'm only infecting 37 people, I'm not very likely to get detected yet. Experiment with playstyle. Evolving transmissions blindly isn't going to be enough. With a limited supply of DNA points, each and every one counts. Make sure to experiment with what traits to evolve best suited for the situation. A combination of different traits helps. I should have read more of the description of the scenario, because maybe it would have provided that lexicon. It's sounding like it's supposed to be pretty darn difficult, and you really want to pair things up appropriately, which I clearly did not do. Spinefish. Increases infectivity, especially in the blood kelp zone. Dunes and the Sea Trader's Path. I'm guessing that's good for Saudi Arabia. Let's pick up the new network of cave systems have been discovered. A new cavern has been discovered. Who remembers Lego Rock Raiders, the old game? Didn't work very well on my computer. It's freaking insanely buggy as heck, but oh well. In a thorough cartography expedition in the mountains biome, a large network of cave systems deep under the seafloor was discovered. It has been nicknamed the Lost River, and further exploration is expected to take place soon. So I'm not ashamed to say that the primary exposure I had to Subnautica during the beta was through Markiplier's series. But now I want to try it out now that the game is fully released. It does have some weird issues with like different GPUs and stuff, which gave me a heck of a hard time. I tried to stream Subnautica a while ago, and it would not work for the life of it. Like, the graphics were horrible. I was getting like 8 frames per second. I've since figured it out because it was trying to pull a second GPU instead of my actual GPU, like the integrated GPU on my processor, which I didn't even know was a thing. I've never had a game try to pull that, but anyway. Works now, though. Pay close attention to events. Certain pop-ups or news lines can give you... Oh, news lines can give you clues to what might happen next, or what you need to evolve next. Some event outcomes increase stats, infect new biomes, or even advance a side story. Who knows what could happen? This is seeming, like, really involved. Like, I'm kind of impressed. Okay, they detected me now, so I am getting around. I do need to be kind of careful. They have discovered me. I'm lethal. Precursor scientists have recently discovered a lethal bacterium in the Sea Trader's Path, which has been named Kharaa, that is spreading in precursors. However, its symptoms seem to be standard, and researchers are confident that a cure will be developed in no time. Probably time to go for an extensive incubation. That does not much, actually. We'll reduce it a bit more. Let's just reduce it a lot and try to reduce the likelihood that they start working on the cure before I'm ready to deal with it. That's what I'm a little bit concerned about. But okay, so let's see. We have neuro breach. More symptoms? I guess we do want to go for that at some point. Do we want more transmissions first? Let's go for water 2 for interbiome. I mean, in a world that's supposed to be basically an ocean planet, more water transmission doesn't sound like a bad thing, right? And it seems like almost every country in the world has a, not all. A lot of countries have ports. Airports are pretty much gone. The exception being Australia, New Zealand, and Greenland. And Iceland. That's interesting. I wonder what the justification was for that. Okay, let's see. Blood kelp zone. Have we gotten any information about where I want to go? Lost River brine designated a health risk. I don't think that's a clue. I think that's just lore. These are all different. Ion cubes? Ancient floaters found to be 347 million. Mount Island isn't an island. What? This is interesting. This actually is looking to be like I'm just touching the iceberg. Like, this is a really involved scenario. I'm kind of impressed. All right. Let's go for some extra infectivity in several different biomes. The whole fish. Reginald. Grassy plateaus in the mountains. I don't know if we need the mountains. Maybe. Let's go for Fauna 2. Bleeders. Kelp forest and sparse reef. Biters. Overall in many biomes, which I'm guessing is a trap, and I probably shouldn't be doing that. I probably should be targeting specific things. Large hole in Lost River leads to hell. You don't say. Okay, let's unlock some new symptoms and see what we get. Neural breach. Hey! It's reefbacks. Infect a reefback. Multiple biomes spreading the infection. Hey, it's like a spore burst. 2 reefbacks. Okay. I can use those giant whales to my advantage. Let's get some insomnia and a headache to slow down cure progress when they start. Maybe memory loss as well. Confusion, immaturity. These all are okay. Hallucinations, there's a little bit of lethality there. Coma. There's a lot of options to slow down the cure. Like, clearly that's something I need to be doing. Or they're trying to give me a lot of options to do. Let's see. Let's go for the Bleeder, for the Kelp Forest, and the Sparse Reef. Any news ticker items? Okay, places just started... Wait, are they all renamed? Oh! Oh! How did I not notice this before? All the countries are renamed to be their biomes. These are the Safe Shallows. This is the Kelp Forest. Grassy Plateaus. Bulb Zone, Mushroom Forest, Grand Reef, Floating Island, Mountain Island. Maybe I do need things in the mountains then. Mesmer. Kelp Forest and Bulb Zone. Stalker, Kelp Forest. How are you getting country-specific stuff? I'm kind of impressed, actually. Combo, safe to drink. Infected bleeders occasionally end up drinking water, causing infection in new biomes. Awesome. Let's go for the Reginald for the mountains infectivity, since I seem to be having trouble there. Warpers dispatched. In hopes of containing the spread of Kharaa further, precursor scientists begin the bioengineering of self-warping quarantine enforcer units. These biomechanical lifeforms will attack and kill infected fauna on sight and are immune to Kharaa themselves. If you can figure out how to get some sort of an immunity, why don't you do it to yourself, huh? Clearly you weren't as smart as you think you are. I'm going to get a little bit of cold resistance. Anatomical hijack? Let's go for that. This opens up a lot of different options that presumably could lead to some lethality and stuff. All of which seem good. I'm a little concerned that I'm going to need mutation chance, because I think I'm going to run out of gas. I may have focused a little bit too much on infectivity. I'm not sure. There's some confusion to slow down the cure. All right. Let's go for coma. It's a bit of lethality, but it also slows down the cure even further. Thank you. Mountains seem to be done. Okay. What else are we missing? Nothing. All right. What do we want then? Let's go for genetic alteration level 2 for more lethality, because I'm going to start killing these people. They are working on that cure pretty quick. They weren't kidding. There's anemia. Oh, crud. I'm completely out of gas. Huh. You definitely have to be a bit more selective in what you choose than I thought. They weren't kidding. Every DNA kind of counts. This is interesting. Wouldn't mind getting a genetic reshuffle. I just don't have enough lethality. There's hemophilia. Yeah, they work on that cure way faster than I can handle. Okay. So the author definitely wasn't kidding. DNA, a little hard to come by. By the way, apparently the entire world's only like 300,000 people, and we lose. Okay, let's try this one again. Okay, I think I might have it this time. So the trick here this time was not to waste my DNA on extensive incubation. Just sort of accepted the fact that there was going to be some lethality and just tried moving fast. I was paying attention to which zones I didn't seem to have a lot of infectivity, to try and decide which transmissions I was probably missing. And I discovered it's a little bit difficult to find one that works in the Grand Reef. Grand Reef in particular is giving me some issues, but oh well. I also used the reefbacks really early on to get the spore bursts that kind of get me on different continents and try to get something going in each respective biome as quickly as I could. But this is kind of a clever way of working the different mechanics of Subnautica here into Plague Inc. I mean, I thought it didn't make a lot of sense that it was an Earth scenario, but once you look at it a different way of these are all representing different biomes and stuff, it's actually pretty darn clever. I like it a lot. I also did not feel the need to go for the anatomical hijack yet. I just wanted to go for stuff that slowed down the cure, and then there's finally total brain death, which is very lethal and honestly is enough to carry me the rest of the way. So I'm probably not too far off of what I need. I do need a bit more infectivity, though. Where is the Grand Reef? There's some Grand Reef. Can't kill precursor researchers. There we go. Crab squids. Makes sense. Underwater islands and bulb zone. No. Cave crawler. The dunes. Underwater islands. Amp eel. Blood kelp zone. There's just not a lot, actually, to go for the Grand Reef that I can see. Unless I'm missing something obvious, but I don't think so. It feels like the first one I've seen that actually does the Grand Reef. If that is the case... Nope, wait, bladderfish as well. Okay, I'm glad I got that. Let's go for a little bit of pressure resistance to try and speed that up there in the Grand Reef / Europe. just so I don't kill too quickly. Looks like we're able to deal with it, though. Precursors activate QEP. In a final effort to stop... I think I missed an event, by the way. In a final effort to stop Kharaa, the remaining precursors on Mountain Island activate the quarantine enforcement platform in hopes of prevents Kharaa's spread to other planets. From now on, the planet is under strict quarantine. Nobody may enter or leave. And thus begin the events of Subnautica, or something. I don't know. What are we missing here? Mountains, dunes, mountains. Good. Okay, we're missing a bit in the mountains here. What can we do for the mountains? Mountains. Not a lot of options in the mountains either, actually. Not seeing any options. Let's go for anything that works on many biomes. Not really. Let's go for Crave Crawler or something for major landmasses. I don't know. I'm just a little bit worried that we're going to kill too fast in the mountains here. They've definitely slowed down a lot in their cure progress. They can't quite keep up anymore. We've killed really fast here. I'm a little concerned. I can't devolve. Crap, did I just lose it again? Oh, Iceland's no longer infected. Wait. No! No! Darn it, I'm gonna have to start over again. Freaking mountains, how'd you cure yourself? Okay, I think I may finally have it this time. Took me a couple more tries. Alright, so there's the QEP, boom, boom, boom. Everyone should be infected, nobody gets to go away, and the total brain death is working. Perfect. Okay, so if there is a trick to this scenario, then, definitely focusing on certain biomes, knowing where you're weakest, kind of watching which countries are resisting you will give you a good idea what kinds of stuff to get. Then beyond that, timing the total brain death is really important. I think wait about, I don't know, 5 seconds after you've infected the last country on speed 3, and then you can go for total brain death, because you want to ramp up that lethality, otherwise you run out of gas. You can't hold off on this until you've got everyone fully infected. There's no way around that. So you're going to have to time that. That may take a little bit of practice. And then I do think that having cold resistance and pressure resistance helps a lot, especially if you're having a lot of trouble in the mountains or in the Grand Reef. Picking up some of these will definitely offset a lot of the damage, so that's pretty good. All right, good. So we can reset the cure a little bit, and it looks like just a few 100,000 precursors are now going to have to die. Hardened to reshuffle. Would have been nice, but it looks like that is going to be completely unnecessary. This would be a heck of a lot harder, though, if we had not played on normal difficulty. I can see that. Without the extra 40 DNA. Oh boy, you run out of gas pretty darn quick. But there we go. Pretty interesting way of playing the game. Honestly, it took the Plague Inc., kind of restrictions on an Earth map and then found a way to kind of rewrite it to make sense for Subnautica, and I think that's kind of clever. Also having region-specific forms of transmission, not like cold resistance and water transmission, but actual, like, this is the biome of Africa, also known as the Safe Shallows, or whatever it was, and that entire region gets affected. That's actually kind of clever. I don't think I've ever seen somebody do that in a Plague Inc. scenario. So I'm very curious what that could mean for future scenarios out of people if they start taking that kind of a concept. Very fascinating. Yes, absolutely. It was a really well done scenario. Very good. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.